Well, g'day, folks. Good evening. It is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp, and this is your executive summary for smart money setups going into Thursday. So, of course, we had a great reversal in the market over the last 2 days, straight off of the resistance area and straight down, which is fantastic. The flag formation rallied to exactly where we wanted it to. It reversed from there. This now means that open range is bearish. What does that mean? It basically means that there's basically a 90% probability. This indicator is about 90% probable, back tested since 1960, that we will close by on the 20th of December. We will close with inside these two orange bands or lower. That's what the indicator says. So there's still room to go back and forth, but right now it's certainly been to the downside. So the shorts have done awesome. We'll look at those in a minute. But obviously, if we actually zoom in and so our target on this drop was is the support that was going to here we go there. From if you just take the two recent lows, you can see that support line's coming up around 266 there on the SPY. Also, if we put things in perspective, we're also still in an upward channel on the SPY, which is bearish. So we have open range, which is bearish, the upward channel over the last 12 months, which is bearish. We're driving down. The only thing bullish right now is the support right here that we're driving down to. Now, if we go and have a look at the intraday charts, let's zoom in a little bit, shall we? Here's the. Oh, let me find the most recent chart. Let's go down into the 1 hour. And where was I looking at this? I was looking at the S&P. So just let me go to the most recent. Here we go. So this is taking into account aftermarket data. So if you look at the actual drop that we've had, taking aftermarket data into account, what's been going on right now and this evening, you can see it's a beautiful technical move. Look at the volume on this candle, this big red bar right here. That is where the big volume came in, as you can see down the bottom. So therefore, and then it dropped sharply and then oscillated back up. That's a classic bear flag formation. So we did this earlier tonight in our patterns course before this breakdown had happened. But you can, or just as it was starting to happen. But you can see if I measure that flagpole, okay, so there's the flagpole, there's my flag, and if I bring this down, that tells me where my target is from the breakout point. So we should, as you can see in the overnight trading, we're almost already there anyway. But basically all the way down to 26.45, which again brings us down to the support level. The actual futures, I believe, had already hit those levels, if I understand correctly. But looking at the S&P 500 after hours trading, as you can see, it's free falling in a beautiful bear flag formation. So all of this is going to hit some support levels as we let's go. Let me just go to the S&P. So we're looking at apples and apples. So as you can see, all of this is going to hit some support. What was it? 26. Pardon me. 2640 is where we're headed towards. Okay, so 2640 is right there. So if we break below, there we go, there's the trend line. So as you can see, 2640 is right there exactly on this support. So it's going to be very interesting because there's a high probability we're going to hit 2640 on the S&P tomorrow. The question will be whether we break it or not. So it's going to be fascinating. There's a lot of great stocks I have on my long watch list, and there's a lot of great ones on my short watch list. So let's just go and have a quick look. Let's go back to my watch list here. The active shorts, the ones that are existing alerts. I mean, they obviously killed it. A lot of these have been active since June, July, since we found these. But I mean, just to look at some of I've got some new ones for you. Don't worry. But look at Cause. I mean, all of these are just rocking it. Obviously, Michael Kors, which was an alert originally up at 66, has been dropping, and I do have some new ones for you here in a minute. The cause is continuing to drop. I look at lowering well, actually, stop signal. I'd leave at this point. Actually, no, I would look at lowering that. I'd look at lowering it to 46.23. Excuse me, 46.23. I'd look to lower it to. Um, and the next target is 37.73. We've got Grubhub, which is was a short alert again since 128. Now all the way down at 77, 77.74. And as you can see, if you look at the pattern that's forming here, the way that it's kind of bouncing around, it's almost upward channel-esque. So you can see this kind of this push, right? You can see that push up. This is why I don't do my charting live in this program because I need to get an upgrade on my computer. And it's just a bit chunky. But yeah, look, great, fantastic upward channel. That's bearish. It's dropping. So I mean, this is still looks like it's still got more to go, even though it's already down almost 50, well, about basically 50%. I hope you're in that one if you've been with us for a while. I'd be looking at a stop around 85.64. You could tighten that up. 85.64. The next target is 67.73. Kai, one of our recent alerts, killed it. Obviously, this was a Head and Shoulders breakdown I had identified. Again, I'll just show you on Incredible Charts because it's just a bit quicker. Same chart, same stuff. Again, you can see that's got a target there of heading towards 77.33. The stop is currently just a little bit above 94. Free falling, awesome move. In terms of a couple of other updates, Parsi Energy hit its target. So I sold all of my puts in this on Tuesday for a really nice profit, and I actually then rolled those over into some new puts. I bought some. I can't even remember now, but they were $20 March puts, I believe. But what I did is I only put a third of the position I cashed out on my first trade. I only put a third of that money I got back out of it into this one. So I'm not playing with profits. I'm just reinvesting basically what my original capital was in the first trade. So even if this could go expires for nothing, even if that trade becomes zero, this trade has still basically almost doubled my money of what I originally put in, even if this current trade does absolutely nothing and rallies to $50. So, but I still like this one, and it's just trying to break down. And the fact that this has gone down the entire time the market went up, even in the last few weeks, we've obviously been holding this since the breakdown of below 25, has been so impressive. And so when you're looking for great shorts, look for the stocks that have been moving independent of market, because that's the ones that are going to keep you safe if the market does go back up. You want these stocks to still go down. NTAP, I've got puts in this. We also suggested recently looking at the March $55 puts because we originally found this when it first started breaking down in October. Bearish head and shoulder pattern forming, fresh insider selling. Again, the target here is 48.13. You may also get some short-term profit-taking opportunities there at 53.13. So I'd have two targets there, 53.13 and 48. 13. So obviously March $55 puts would work for either of those targets, and I do like that. Okay, so in terms of some new setups, call me crazy, but OGEN, if you're a day trader, this is an aggressive trade only. This was actually, for those of you who've taken our Fallen Angels course, hang on a second. For those of you who've taken our Fallen Angels course, this is one this is an aggressive Fallen Angel strategy. And again, you can see the Fallen Angel alert right there on February 21st, rallied from 56 cents all the way to $3.60, which was just nutty. Again, one of the ones from the Fallen Angels scan. So what we are seeing here is a possible kind of a J hook, or you could also call it a cup and handle. Again, it's a more advanced setup, so if you haven't been through the Fallen Angels training, maybe something to avoid. It's also an aggressive trade. If you're a day trader, is another possible way to look at this. As you can see, it actually went up 6% in Tuesday's breakdown. This is one of the reasons it caught my attention. Money flow is good. I mean, I wouldn't treat this as anything more than a trade because it seems to make these massive rallies and crash. I don't know if this company is a real company or if it's being promoted or what. So buyer beware. But technically, for an aggressive short-term trade, check it out. Buyer beware. But technically, it looks interesting. So from that onto the short setups, we also gave you 5 new longs to look at if the market reverses, and I've got a whole lot more. I'm prepared for no matter what the market does. It's going to be exciting. Um, but LXFR looks good. And I'm giving you a few different patterns to look at. LXFR is an potentially inverted fallen angel pattern. The money flow is divergent. You can see it going down as the stock's been going up. I'd look for a break below 22.26. First target is 1936, where the 200-day moving average is. I'm considering that because it's a momentum setup or pattern that I'm looking for it to continue. So therefore, considering the momentum support. The second target would be momentum. So if we break that, if we break channel on the SPY, you you can say goodbye to to all support anyway. So LXFR is going to be quite interesting, and so just check that one out. And you've now got NYT, which is something else to take a look at. Now this is the New York Times. As you can see with the New York Times, beautiful head and shoulders. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and just rolling over here. So money flow is also divergent, and if you actually go to the weekly chart, you're going to see something. There you go. There's the weekly chart. You can see the rising wedge, which is also bearish. So with this one, we've got the money flow going down. We've got 2 patterns saying that it could be a good short. So all we have to then do is check out the insiders. Does that give us some more probability? Oh, look at that. A sea of red. Lots of insider selling. So this one I would like, and again with NYT, I'd be looking at that as a head and shoulder and wedge combination. First target 22.13, second target 17.83, and or lower, and 27.67 above the right shoulder would be my stop signal. You've then got RRC, Romeo, Romeo, Charlie. Also, surprise, surprise, a head and shoulders. As well as being a head and shoulders, you've also got an upward channel. So you've got 2 patterns that also indicate bearishness, divergent money flow. So RRC could be a short setup down to 13.13 as a first target, and second target would be 12.33. I'd be looking at a stop signal here with 16.13, and this one has some insider selling as well. A small buy there, a buy early in the year, but otherwise selling since then. So it's not a huge insider selling stock. It's more something I like technically. And it looks good. BHF is the next one. BHF is a head and shoulder pattern underneath the 200-day moving average. And what I liked about this being an insurance company is when I checked it out, da ba da ba da da. There you go. You can see that MetLife sold $1 billion worth at 44.50 when the market was good. So can't imagine that that's a great sign. But everyone has different criteria. Maybe they sold for a different reason. But the fact it's combined with the head and shoulder gives us a potential short there if it breaks below 37.15 down to a target of 31.13 or lower. Stop signal is 48.87. Last two. Now you should. So this gives you a great basket of longs that we published on Monday night and shorts for tonight. Now that we have the bearish open range, I would still be watching both lists. Market could be going both directions for December. It's going to be some awesome trading activity. So here's HDS again. Head and shoulders, divergent money flow. It's the same pattern again. And again, if we look at the insiders, you can see selling some nice big coin. President, CEO, facilities, main, whatever that is, 93% sale. That's big. So I would definitely take note of that. So you can see the head and shoulders there. I'd look at a short here with a target of 755. Excuse me, target of $30.31, and the stop signal I'd be looking at would be 43 and 16 cents. Um, And last one, DRNA, which is again a Head and Shoulders, massive insider selling, possible Head and Shoulders. As I said, the target here would be 755, and the stop signal I'd be looking at would be a little bit better than little bit less tight than the previous one, up at 1633. Now, that's because there's a bit more money flow in this than we saw in the other ones, but it's also a healthcare stock, so it could easily get a bit of a juice. But this director and 10% owner looks like it cumulatively has sold 16, 32, 42% in November, and because it appears to be the same person, and you can see some heavy selling earlier in the year by the chief scientific officer and business officer, double digits, and another director. So not what you'd expect to see if this pharmaceutical stock's about to become a $40 stock because they've made breakthroughs in drug research. So it's not necessarily saying the stock's going to tank, but it removes my concern that it's going to skyrocket if I see the people in the know getting rid of their most valuable asset that could be worth what one would hope 10 times more if they have breakthroughs. It's had a great rally from $2 basically. The directors have made a ton of coin, and it appears like it might be ready for a breakdown. So those are my short setups for tomorrow. Remember, there's going to be volatility both ways. I mean, right now we could run bang into support, and so it's gonna be volatile both ways, which is why you want the protection of getting really strong longs and really strong shorts, so that you can get kind of a bit of insulation from the market movements, because you might find the market opens up at support and goes up tomorrow. So as you can see, that's why I'm looking for breakdowns but in most of those, but to below support to get some extra strength. And that's also why we've hedged with a few good long ideas if they rally up from Monday night's alerts. I have a ton of others, so we'll see how things shake out. Most importantly, be careful, protect your capital, and once more, if you're going to be joining us again, reminder: the Fallen Angels course is coming up in January. Thank you for everybody's emails of those of you who are interested in joining. And don't forget the best way to get a ton of value if you're going to be learning these courses from us is to take the lifetime membership special that we're running only for members. So you have to be an existing member already to take part in this, where you can get involved in lifetime access to all of our courses: Smart Money, Patterns and Probabilities, and Fallen Angels, the three core strategies of Acorn. We don't really teach anything else. So that's Smart Money Scanning, Patterns and Probabilities, and Fallen Angels, which is starting in the new year. That's all you need to trade like a rock star for all of 2019. And it also gives you lifetime access to all of our trading rooms, text alerts, videos like this. Gives you access to, it includes 12 months of one-on-one support if you're joining the lifetime program offer. And gosh, what else? It includes weekly mastermind sessions with other expert graduates who've been with us for years, where we share trading ideas. It includes access to our Acorn community, which is we're launching a new Acorn community, which will be totally new product in January. It'll include access to those and other new products we're bringing out. And I mean, it's just awesome. So huge value for your money. So drop us an email if you're interested. Again, acornwealthcorp.com. Excuse me, info. Info at acornwealthcorp.com, and we can send you details on the offer. So again, that's going to be ending soon, and then we actually launch all this new stuff on the 1st of January, and that offer is no longer. So have a wonderful evening. Drop us an email if you're interested in joining the Fallen Angels class in January, or if you're interested in the lifetime, either one or both, and we'll talk to you all in the next coming days. Happy trading!